the space to make it easier to build on. I'll need to terraform the side of the hill that's sloping down into the river better, but at least we should have enough space right now to build our starter house.
Yes.
On day 15, I began crafting the items that we're going to need to build our house. I realized I needed more cobblestone, so I ran over to this cliffside to gather some up. I crafted more of the blocks I was going to need, and then got completely distracted terraforming the hill near the river. It's just way too ugly right now, so I can't help but fix it up a little bit. I continued terraforming on day 16, and got the hillside smoothed out pretty well. With that eyesore dealt with, I then harvested the wheat and sugarcane, and then expanded both farms further along the river. I also widened the farm in some spots to make it easier to walk on, since I keep falling into the water. We're going to need flower pots for our starter house, so I mined some clay I found in the river on day 18. I started smelting the clay, and then continued crafting more of the blocks I'll need for the house, like campfires. After that, I took a minute to breed both the cows and sheep, and then went right back to gathering more blocks, like shortgrass, as well as oak leaves. Our clay is done smelting, so I crafted the flower pots, and I also made some glass panes while I was at it. As always, I need more spruce wood, so I cut down one of the big ones. I then used the wood to start crafting all of the different spruce blocks that I need. I cut down a second spruce tree, and then stripped all of those logs on day 20. With pretty much a full stack of stripped spruce logs obtained, I then went down to the river and harvested all of the wheat and sugarcane. After that, I bred the cows and sheep again. I also sheared all of the sheep while I was at it because you can never have too much wool. The rest of the blocks that we need for our starter house are going to come from underground, so I went back to the cave we explored earlier. First off, I mined a bunch of calcite from the geoid that we found all the way back on day 8. After that, I gathered some granite as well as diorite, which we're going to need as well. I then went lower into the mine and began mining tough blocks as well as deep slate. That should hopefully be everything that we need, so I made my way back to the surface on day 22. Once I was back at our starter area, I smelted some cobblestone into stone and then used it to craft a couple of stone cutters. I started day 23 by harvesting our farms again, as well as breeding the animals. I think it'll be fun to use some blue carpet inside of our starter house, so I dyed the sheep and collected their wool. After that, I used a stone cutter to begin crafting all of the different tough and deep slate blocks that I'm going to need. I noticed a horse wandered over to where I was working, so I took a minute to tame it and then gave him one of the saddles that we found. And this horse is actually pretty fast, which is pretty awesome. I made him a simple pen using fences, but I think it would be a lot of fun to eventually build him a proper stable. On day 24, I harvested the wheat and sugarcane again, and then I went back down into the mine since I'm a big dummy and didn't get enough deep slate and tough when I came down here last time. I began collecting more and found a couple of diamonds while I was at it, so I guess that was a nice reward for my troubles. I also stumbled into a trowel chamber while digging, but I'll definitely wait until I'm more geared up if I decide to explore it. While I was down here, I also found some lava that I could use to make some obsidian, and then I mined enough for an enchanting table, as well as a nether portal. I made my way back to the surface on day 25, and finally, we should have every single block that we need to build the starter house. I decided to go for a darker, sort of medieval theme, which is one of my favorite styles to build in. For the main floor, I used a combination of tough, deep slate, and cobblestone blocks for some really nice texture variation. To create the second floor walls, I used calcite, diorite, and just a little bit of birch logs. To contrast the white walls, I made the roof using one of my favorite block combinations, which is dark oak and deep slate. With the main house finished, I added a small covered area to the side of the build, which I think really helps give it some personality. For a couple of final touches, I added leaves and shortgrass in the corner near the front entrance, and then at the back of the house, I placed in a few hay bales for a nice pop of color. The sun was beginning to set, so I went inside and slept away the night in the comfort of our starter house. I started day 28 by doing a big harvest of all of our sugarcane and wheat, and I also expanded our little carrot patch while I was at it. After that, I bred the cows one more time, and then killed all of the adult cows for their leather. I thought this would be enough, but I still need more leather in order to make 15 bookshelves, so I wandered around and killed all of the stray cows that I saw. While I was looking for cows, I also gathered a bunch of tall flowers, which will be nice to decorate our base with. I only needed one more leather and couldn't find any more cows, so I did something that I'm not very proud of and killed a horse. We have everything that we need now, so I crafted an enchanting table and 15 bookshelves. I want to set up our enchanting area inside of the house, but before we can do that, I need to get the floors in. After a bit of brainstorming, I created a staircase leading to the second floor using dark oak wood. For the actual floor itself, I built it using spruce slabs. Once that was in place, I added a horizontal beam of logs stretching across the top of the ceiling. I then filled in the rest of the space with dark oak slabs. To light up the room, I hung some lanterns off of spruce fences. With the second floor looking pretty good now, I finally placed down the bookshelves and enchanting table. I began day 31 by crafting a new diamond shovel and axe, as well as boots and a chest plate. I have enough levels for enchanting 2 things, so I started off with my shovel and got efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3. After that, I crafted a new diamond pickaxe and then enchanted it. I only ended up getting unbreaking 3 on it, which is a little bit lame, but I guess it's better than nothing. Using my brand new shovel, I removed the grass blocks on the first floor and then began placing in a proper one using oak wood. For the smaller room on the side, I instead used polished granite and tough blocks, which I've never tried before, but I think it kind of works. I also fixed up the ceiling in the smaller room using deep slate slabs. I continued working on the interior on day 32 by adding some lanterns to light up the area, and then I built a simple fireplace next to the chimney. Heading back to the second floor, I added a railing around the stairs so that I don't accidentally fall down. After that, I started adding a bunch of chests for storage. I took a quick break from building to cut down a spruce tree, and then I got straight back to it by adding a couple of campfires and iron bars to the fireplace.